Thank you, Goga. Thank you. We're just preparing ourselves today. Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to do today. That we don't much focus on issues of secure and safety of people with disabilities in regard to what disaster preparedness by the government through the Department of Disaster, Office of Disaster and the Management, that's DODMA. So yeah, be there as we'll be trying to analyze the messages that are put forward in readiness to making people aware about what is all about in terms of climate change and what is ahead of us. In short, the forecast by the Meteorological Department that goes through the DODMA management. Thank you.
Yes, so welcome to my channel today, and that's what we're going to discuss. And our guest today is Mr. Mnyenyembe. He is one of the disability rights activists, and he's going to share one of the things that he is trying to recommend the Department of Disaster Management and also persons with disabilities.
Yeah.
Persons.
Yeah, because we've been listening to a lot of jingles, a lot of communication that is done through radio as well as television settings for the past 3 weeks. For the past 3 weeks, that is. So our concern has been to say where are those issues to do with the persons with disabilities, because the messages in themselves, they are not as inclusive as they should have been, because they are put across to assuming that everybody is listening to such communication. It's good that at least government is trying to do its part in terms of imparting information to the people around and across. But maybe the worry is coming in because of the format that is coming in so frequently, which has been analyzed as not sufficient enough, putting it forward that we have got our friends who are deaf and others are deaf blind. So just using one formula of disseminating the information, we've seen that it may not be much of what we should have been doing by this time, because we've been advocating of inclusive approach to all developmental issues or social life as a whole. And this shall mean that persons with disabilities are also into the setting in as far as our demography is concerned. Yeah, surely.
Yeah, so just to ask, are you satisfied the way the department is trying to prepare for the disaster, as now we are in the rain season and some areas are already experiencing some floods?
Yeah, of course, we cannot rule out everything that is not proper. At least there is something that we have picked from what the government is doing. Just by trying to inform or to alert the masses about the danger which might be there, considering the heavy rain that we have had of late. At least we have to thank the government on that issue. But probably maybe what could be The issue of today is the inclusive part that is not in the communication itself, because we are looking at the holistic. The world now is a global, what is a global village, where information has to be put forward inclusively. In this, we mean that there are other individuals that may not have the same learning pace or the hearing pace that we have as human beings. So yes, not 100%, but at least there's something that the government is doing. So we are only pleading with the same Department of Disaster Preparedness and the management that they should, in their quest, put in so many elements that would reach out to almost everyone. Everyone will mean even those who have got diverse inequalities in terms of taking communication as a media of approach in terms of putting forward our information and what we want to impact to the community. So it's just a plea, not that the government is not doing anything. It is doing something, at least we've seen it, but we are trying to make it more vibrant and more inclusive so that no one is left behind.
Okay, and those that are watching, do you have such department in your countries, and how do they press in on the readiness of the of disasters? And disasters is not only flood disasters.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. On that one, yes, because the culture in Malawi per se is that we have taken disasters as only floods. When the rains are heavy, we have got areas which are so prone to such phenomena in terms of flooding and the like. Rivers swell up and the lakes also become unruly. But the word disaster, it would mean so many, and by definition, it is too wide. Sometimes we may have only cyclones in terms of heavy winds without rains. So there are also a type of a disaster that can come in a village or in towns, whatever area. And in that we mean people that others may have. These are the ones we are talking about, that if we are trying to alert or to pass out information on any danger that we are foreseeing, the calling is we must strive to put more of inclusive components whereby everybody is reached or is able to access such information, because it is important to know what is ahead of you rather than panicking when things are already off hand. So they become expensive because you are under, you end up spending more than you could have spent if you were ready for such things. So we are saying to prepare is much more easier and less in terms of expenditure, other than spending when you are under panic.
You have talked of designing of information at an early time before, maybe like the floods, before the disaster is occurred. What types of information can you try to recommend in terms of our department?
Fine. If we talk of inclusive communication formulas, we would say if one is deaf, obviously you would require sign interpreters or sign language type of it. So if you are using only a still radio as a medium of communication, then sign language won't be there. So you need to have all the information put into visual through televisions, whereby you have got people who are interpreting on that one. So those with deaf blindness, they can use one of the two. If they are if they have got an assistant around them or by themselves, technically they might be able to pick one of the two, because those with deafness, they can see what is being interpreted on the television. Those with blindness, they can hear some of it, because even blindness cannot be 100% sometimes. There are partial people who can see a bit of it, or they can hear a bit of some information or some sound. So we are saying, try as much as you can to put everything into modern technology so that everybody is able to grasp what is put forward for them to get ready against such dangers.
Yeah, and I also remember last year when we were experiencing the cyclone Freddy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Department of Disaster Risk Management, they
Yes.
came up with the information to persons with disability after
After
the cyclone
you see now,
was already,
already
and a lot of,
devastated. It
yes,
had gone. People
and
had
it affected,
yelled.
yeah.
So many were affected. So it was like the aftermath. They thought later in time that, oh, we had forgotten other people like this one. So we appreciate, of course, because we ran through such experiences. So we are saying we suffered last time because of not knowing that this was important. Now we are away before such things have happened. That's why I say, can we get prepared now?
Yeah.
Because we suffered that last year because we were not in the know. Now we know what happened last year. Why can't we consider putting things in order now so that we can avoid what happened last time? Sure.
This also reminds me about data. When they were bringing up their report, it did not reflect persons with disabilities, and mostly not in their categories as
Yes.
well. So it's very important also
That's
for
why,
the data.
yes, yeah, categorizing all data. Data is important, and you are informed because of such, especially disaggregated data.
Yes.
You must have a disaggregated data where you have got to say, we have got those with blindness so much, deaf blindness so much, physical disability so much, those with albinism so much. Then you are informed because you'll be working towards those lines to say, if we have suffered this time around, how many did we lose in this case? The blind people, they say 40. Wow. From which, because you have got that itemized and well categorized data, well aggregated. So you are informed because you have got that line of setting. Unlike last time, it was just a whipping statement based with disabilities. So you don't know where and how. And if you want to support, you don't know what type of support you want to bring to those people, because you may put things that say you may bring wheelchairs, yet those people who are there are not
the wheelchair users.
yes, they may need the glasses. You are going there with sunscreen lotion. You find that those who are in need of such support, they are not those people with albinism. They are of other disabilities. So you can be well informed and well prepared if you know what type of people you want to support. What type of disability are you trying to support? So if you procure things to support those in danger, you are aware what you are going to buy or you are going to procure, because you are informed through that data. Yeah. So data is paramount in every managerial setups, because you cannot perform if you don't know the number of people that you want to assist. So you can overspend because you didn't have the numbers. You can underspend because you also don't know how many people would want your hand at such particular times. So yes, especially when things have happened like that way, everybody would want to be supported. Even those without disabilities, they become vulnerable as well, because it could be that they have been affected because they were keeping, or they were assisting their friends or their households with disabilities. So you must also know, behind the two are deaf blind, the rest are in the same family, but they assist that person. So when it happens to one person, it has happened to 20 persons, because others have been affected. This one is affected.
Okay, this reminds me about locations as well.
Yes.
In terms of persons with disabilities, they must make sure to know where to be located.
Yes.
The environment that are surrounded.
Environment. Yes. If you want to,
because it's not only about the department.
Relocating people.
Even individual, you're supposed to see which place you're supposed to reside.
Very much so. You must. It is a two-way responsibility. Those people with disabilities, they should also be very much in what ready to put themselves at a place where they feel, even without government or without any other hand, they are safe. So when things happen, they should really come as an accident, not as a negligence.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we tend to think and talk too much as if maybe we are not being assisted or whatever. Sometimes it is us as well with disabilities that we don't know or we don't bother much to look after ourselves as well. It should be starting with ourselves. Let's be at a place or in places where we feel, if with or without, we are already safe. When it happens, it should be really seen as an accident because you never knew where you are, you could be affected. But sometimes we are in places where already we know they are prone to disasters, and yet we cling to such places. So it should start with ourselves. Let's put ourselves in places where we believe that naturally we are safe, so that when things happen, they should really be described as disasters because you never expected something to happen in such areas. So evacuation also becomes very, very, very expensive because you are in a place where even vehicles cannot be they cannot reach that places. They are hard to reach places. So be in places whereby you can be traced in time. So don't be in hiding, don't be whatever, be in a place where you can be easily identified, and if the location is needed, you are assisted in time, then
Okay, bona fide overland. Welcome, welcome. We are discussing here issues of disaster management and preparedness. And my guest today is Mr. Mnyembe, who is a disability rights activist. And he's just sharing some recommendations to persons with disabilities and also to our Department of Disaster Risk Management. And we're just trying to highlight on what happens, and disaster
and
is not floods.
Yes, not only floods.
There are a lot of emergencies that they need responses. Yes. So that's what we are discussing here. Just tell us where you're watching from. And big up, thank you for joining us. Be right there until the end of the video. Don't forget to thumbs up.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are on that one because we were saying, okay, if it is to do with the provisions, they say we are looking at humanitarian part of it. Things have happened. We've been taken unawares. Disasters happened. People have been swept away. Others have died, and I mean, so many things. They are in twofold. You can be relocated, or you have been swept away, or you have been injured. You all need support. But for those who have missed out, we cannot do anything. They are gone. They are gone. But for those who have been injured, they also need out of what humanitarian assistance. You talk of clothing, you talk of food, you talk of household utensils. All the things become so expensive at that particular time. So yes, government must not always put things like that. Say traditionally, they keep a lot of flour, they keep a lot of cooking oil, or keep of blankets, for sure. But what is paramount to us, in as far as these things are concerned, we are saying, can there be means that we can prevent such disasters from happening? Because it seems like we have taken it as a custom now that every year we should be budgeting for humanitarian assistance, which sometimes is not, to me, it does not sound well, because it's like we have accepted that every year there will be what? Disasters.
And it's always flood disasters.
You can imagine.
I remember the time in 2019,
yes,
when on COVID issue,
yes,
it was like a
we were caught napping,
yes,
because we didn't know that the disaster can be in form of a disease. Because we have taken ourselves about disasters as we floods and whatever. So what we had were things to do with floods. So what came in 2020, 2020, it was now COVID.
It's like we get disaster as a learning process.
You can imagine. So let's cast our minds wide. We should be prepared, looking at the climate change, we look at the global movements. What are the new things that are coming today? Don't focus on the already done things. Let's be canvassing. We should be able to do research. After this, what will be possible problems? We should be very much proactive, not reactive.
And this reminds me on the issues of research. It reminds me of the Cyclone Freddy. last year, we identified a lot of new
issues.
new
Gaps where,
acquired
yes,
disabilities as well.
yes.
Disability data was like increasing just because of such.
Yes, because we've been so much accustomed to physical disability, blindness, and probably deafness. Yes, fine, but not really, because I can say in short, invisible disabilities to Malawians, we have never been able to trace them until this disaster told us that no, there are so many other disabilities than what you know. So we were so much rigid to physical disability and probably the blindness. Yet of late we have seen that there are so many other disabilities, but the problem is we don't do research. We don't have specific researchers who focus much on the disabilities. So there are yet so many emerging disabilities. All is required is catastrophic research. Serious research must be put in place so that we know and we discover more than we already know.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, in terms of like prevention, can it be done like now while we're experiencing the floods, or?
Yes, prevention is continuous. Is continuous. That's what I'm saying. You should engage researchers so that you know what is preventable and what is not preventable. So you can't say we started now or yesterday or tomorrow. It should be an ongoing thing, because if you research, it's like you are looking for new phenomena. So if you are looking for new phenomena, you cannot stop. It's an ongoing thing. Every time we have got graduates coming from the mast there, we say Malawi University of Science and Technology. They have to be there assisting us. We have got the guys at Mubas. That's their work. They have to work all day, all round to say what are the possible problems that we may have if ABCD doesn't happen, because we have got the world or the global the earth rather itself is evolving every day. All right, whether the climates are changing. Today we are looking at the, let's say, northern region of Malawi, where we used to have to get rains in December and January. Now you go to the north, there are no rains. All right, in the south here we used to have rains in what? In as early as October. Today it's around December, January. So research is an ongoing factor. You cannot say we have done ABCD then we'll stop here. No. You keep on dreaming, because research is like dreaming. You don't stop dreaming. So you must be able to invest as a government much in the research, scientific research. That is what can make us understand and get prepared on the new things that are coming each and every day.
All right. What other last words can you tell the viewers and also persons with disabilities? In addition, our Department of Disaster Risk Management.
Finally, but not last.
Yeah.
But yes, for this day, we can say we are so much interested to see the government moving towards inclusivity in whatever approaches it does on issues of social development. And this is to say that development is about the mind. So if we can start changing people's mindsets, then we are towards achieving many things, including getting ready or get prepared for any dangers that might be there in the form of disasters that we have had of late. And on top of that, is a plea to the general society, especially the family of disability fraternity. Let's not look down on ourselves. Let's not wait for the government or other people to do things for us. We must be the first on the ball, so that wherever we miss it, others can support us. So clear the land, clear the space, clear wherever you are, so that when something comes in, it should really come in as a phenomenon or as an accident, other than negligence.
So yeah, That's for today for my 30 minutes. But before we go, I just want to say thank you very much, everyone who is here. Please connect. I see Goga from Kenya. I see Malawi Watu from, yes, I see Bonafide.
Thank you.
Please tell us where you're watching from, Bonafide. And connect, please, guys, connect. And last question is going to come from you viewers, please.
Yes.
Give us a question for Mr. Mnyembe so that he can elaborate where you did not got it, please.
Get me where,
or maybe you have a comment on the discussion that he was trying to highlight to us. Maybe you have a comment.
And from those who are from the native, I mean those from around Malawi, be open. You can come in our vernacular.
Yes.
We will be still very interested and very happy to come back to you in the same way.
Yeah. So now it's just time for you viewers. We need you to press up your comments, press up your questions, or maybe a recommendation. And how many muri Malawi mukutonera mutasobo kufusa muchichewa ndicho tenti pangeni comments.
Zimakuza ena kefi. So
I know what we have been discussing is we are experiencing it everywhere. In Kenya, now it's raining. You talk of yes, Africa.
We have heard that the Durban is in what? Is in shambles because of floods as well. So Durban and the Blantyre, they share the same what? The same waves in terms of longitudes and latitudes. So what is happening in South Africa can as well happen in Malawi because we are on the same what? On the same latitude, the equator. We are on the same. So we might be privileged to start preparing ourselves towards that one.
Yeah, so any comment, guys, who are watching us, please give us a comment. It can be a comment, a recommendation, a question.
You are free.
You are free, yes. We are on that period.
We join our friends in KwaZulu-Natal. But sorry for that, because it happened last time again.
Maybe some they don't know, just celebrate what happened.
Yeah, okay, because of heavy rains in the KwaZulu-Natal province, where Durban is in it. There have been
that's South Africa. Maybe some of you guys you don't know Durban.
Of late, and there are floods. About hundreds of people have been swept, and yeah, it's really a disaster. You can watch on the Sabic TV. They are showing it almost every day. So let's pray for our friends that it should not go beyond what they had already done. And for those who are near that way, if you have got any support that you can, please rush to KwaZulu-Natal and render support where it's necessary, so that together we can see our friends coming out of that devastation. Sure.
Yeah, we're still waiting. I know people are there listening. We are waiting. Just give us your comments, really, or maybe any question from my guest today. He's ready to respond, and any recommendation that you can give, kindly, please. We are on that.
Thank you.
We only have 5 minutes because this session is about 30 minutes. So we only have 5 minutes
to go. Please come in with anything. A recommendation, as Martha puts it, a question is welcome, or any advice.
We are putting the space for you now. Kindly make any recommendation.
Yeah, sometimes they say silence is golden. Maybe you understood what we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Or the appeals that we have made, the advice that we have sent through. Yeah.
And don't forget to support each other, connect, guys.
Please.
Please, please, please. Yes, yes, yes.
And we encourage even those with disabilities, please be the ones patronizing this platform, because you are the beneficiaries of this discussion.
Yeah.
So it will be encouraging to see you putting your issues forward, so that together we can find solutions towards such anxieties, if at all they are.
Or maybe if you're watching from your country, you can just give us your recommendation, or maybe like any view on how your government prepares.
Is doing its
or how it's doing it.
Things, because now it's global.
Yeah.
We cannot say it's only in Malawi or South Africa or Kenya. Disasters are now have become a global phenomenon. Yeah, it started with tsunami, then there was the cyclone what? Cyclone Katrina. I remember in Pennsylvania, in the US, there was yeah, especially the tsunami was the one which really got the whole world at stake. So since then, it has gone viral everywhere. Every country is affected in one way or the other, and Malawi of late has been hardly hit by such catastrophes. Uh, so it's a common uh, take at the moment. No country has been spared. We can only pray that it should not be as bad as they have been already there. Let's pray for good life and good rains so that they do not become a burden after they have given us food.
But I think in the past we were not experiencing the way we were experiencing it now. What can be the cause?
You know, yes, of course, it would have been the beginning of our discussion. But looking at the time itself, I thought maybe that one is already known by many, but maybe others don't know. Things have become this scale because of our mankind. So the human activities have negatively aggravated the situation because of a wanton cutting down of trees carelessly. You the what the destruction of the horizon air, it also affected the what the climate change, because globally there are so many fumes out there which have destroyed the what the horizon layer that is destructed. And again,
welcome,
as
welcome,
Africans,
Gigi Idu.
yes,
Welcome.
Africans especially, we are very good at cutting down of trees unnecessarily. So that also has contributed heavily to such catastrophes, because the land cannot hold itself now anymore as it used to be, because it is bare. So most of the land now is bare because humankind has really done damage to his own resources. In this, I mean, vegetation has been destructed left and right. So we have got nowhere to land to because our land is bare. So any water that comes in, it lands out fast because it cannot be held by any roots, any whatever. The land is bare.
Yes. And even the buildings.
The buildings.
People are constructing.
You see now.
Different buildings in streams.
In streams. I mean, in the waterways, you find that people are building that there. So overpopulation also has contributed heavily, because people are building anywhere now because they cannot be where they should be because they are overpopulated. So they are going beyond where they would have built their houses. Now they are going to the places where in the past they were reserved places. Yeah, so we have got no reserves. The land is becoming smaller and smaller because people are becoming many every day.
We are still waiting for your questions.
Yeah, so
we are on question and recommendations.
Yeah, population is another factor. Right. You talk of lack of management of vegetation is also another factor. Then the horizon layer has been distracted because of so many industrial activities. So many industrial activities, especially in the big economies like America. You talk of France, you talk of Germany, you talk of China, you talk of Russia. They are producing very bad gases into the air. So that one has also contributed to the breakdown of climate in our good land.
Yeah, so we are still waiting for your questions for my guest. If you have any questions for my guest, maybe like you want to give a comment, please write on the comment section. And also tell us where you're watching from. Easy to connect.
And maybe you can say how much damage your country is doing to the climate because of maybe industrial activities, or you talk of vegetational undertakings, you talk of population. Because you can imagine today China alone has got almost 4 billion people. All right, so you talk of 4 billion. If it were money, fine. But these are human beings.
Human beings.
4 billion. Only one country, right? So Nigeria is about 100 million people. Where do they go?
Yeah.
They have got nowhere to go. So they'll end up going into the mountains, whatever. Where in the past we had our green vegetation always landing beautifully.
But how now, can we prevent this? Because now the population will still be increasing.
Yeah, so the issue is we must put a stop to that population.
Okay.
People must be given ultimatum. We must not produce as much as 2 as you see. Yes,
that's another topic.
Other countries have done that. They have given a law. If you are found with 3 children, they say, well, this other one must come here.
What if you travel to go to Zimbabwe, you have 3 children, you come to Malawi, 2, you go to Botswana, you have 2.
One person. Maybe that can be tricky a bit because we don't know who is fathering them. So you are not officially known as you are the father of those people. But we are saying if you have just married as a couple,
yes, you
have to be given restrictions because we are becoming just too many for nothing. Right? Our economy is going down, but population is going up. So in the end, there will be no schools, no whatever, no health facilities to take care of such a big, such a huge population. So there will be deaths, whatever. I mean, it's unnecessary.
Okay. So what is your take, viewers? Please, what is your take? We're waiting for you guys.
Yeah, so
these minutes that we are adding, we are just waiting for you. Yes,
input.
You have been there, you're listening, and we want your input as well. And just you can give a question, your input. Yes.
What do you take on the population?
I mean,
the causes of climate change. We have just tackled 3. We are talking of population. It's too much. People are now just everywhere. Yeah. They are building carelessly because the land is becoming smaller and smaller every day. So they are going to places where they should not have been there. We had reserved places in the past, but now those reserved places have been encroached by the same people because there are just so many. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, we're saying industrialization has also contributed heavily because there are gases being produced, and those gases have destroyed the horizon layer, which is holding the issue to do with what? The universe. So that breakdown is causing a lot of havoc on us. The heat that we have now is not supposed to be there. The heat has come in because there is no any layer which is protecting us. So the sun is coming direct on us. That's bad as well. Then we talk of wanton cutting down of trees, especially by Africans. This I must stress. Africans, we've done so much damage to our vegetation.
So, okay, Africa is watching. Give a comment, please.
We've done so much. For industrialization, it's about the white population. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Europeans and Europeans. But for the vegetational destruction, it's Africans. We depend so much on firewood and the like.
And this reminds me that because when we are in the rainy season, let's make sure to be replanting trees. We are not good at that. We're not good at that.
Other countries.
Let's do that, guys. Let's do that.
Not only other countries. Even in Malawi, we've seen other chiefs. They are giving bylaws in their subjects, saying if you have cut 1 tree, you must plant 10.
10, yes.
So that's a good replacement. But still more, if you are cutting a tree which was almost 40 years old, you are planting 10 today. Though even you plant them today, still more, they will not take that shape of that 1 tree that you have cut down because that tree was almost furnished. It had branches whatsoever. It was giving air to the nice air to the people. Now, even if you plant 10 today, the benefits of those 10 trees won't be so instant.
Yeah.
So the best is don't cut down trees. Because even if you
But
invest them,
we'll need wood. We'll
yes,
need charcoal.
for the other 20 years to
Mr.
come.
Byenyembe, we'll
No,
need wood
yes.
for
You,
constructions.
if a chief
We'll need,
says you can cut one tree, no problem, but replant 10 today, that punishment, fine, it sounds good.
Yeah.
But the benefits of those 10 trees will not be instant. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if you're king, a parent today, eh, then you say, okay, the other family must produce 10 children. They can do that, fine, but those children will not benefit us now. It will need 20 years for them to become beneficial.
So it means we need to be
strong
planting.
rules. Yes,
Strong rules.
yes, we should be planting as a custom, but not actually replacing them.
Yeah.
No, you cannot. It is gone. It is gone. That tree had its own value. Even if you plant 10 today, they will not take this value of that one tree. Yes.
Okay, let's make sure not forget to give a thumbs up to the live stream, and let's not forget to connect. Let's connect.
Yes.
We have here Goga from Kenya. We have Malawi Watu, yes, and we have Bonafide. We have Gaigo, Gigi.
Anyway, but the spelling you can just.
It's Gigi.
That guy or
Gigi.
Anyway, if you had spoken something, you could have let us know how you pronounce your name.
Yes.
But
tell us where you're watching from. I know Goga is from Kenya. I know Malawi Watu is based in UK, but it always brings out Malawi content. Then Bonfedi, I don't know where you're from. Just please tell us where you're watching us from. And Gigi, tell us where you're watching us, and thank you very much for coming here. I'm seeing you. Yeah, you have been there from the start. Yes. Give us a comment. Give us a comment. Any recommendation. And these issues, they happen everywhere.
Yeah, it's global.
It's global issue.
Now it's a global issue.
And it's one of the factors.
And they're increasing every time.
Yes, and it's one of the factors that is increasing the disability data. The disability population, I can say. Yes. Yeah. Every disaster.
It leaves out so many things. Those injured, usually they don't come back as they were. Others, they end up being amputated because it was too severe on them. Some they have become blind because they were struck by lightning and the like. So there are so many things that come out after the disasters have happened. So disability also grows bigger because of such consequences. So the more such things happen, the more we go beyond what we could have managed. Yeah. So the best is let's have preventive measures other than looking for support and whatever. Support can be there, fine, it's necessary because we are in need of it when you have been struck by such disasters. But what would be very interesting is when we could be looking or start working towards finding solutions on how we can prevent such things from happening. That's why I'm saying if we can start educating our masses on how to protect and manage trees, and how to use the lighter industrialization modules, that can help, because the heavy industry related areas, they also produce a lot of heavy toxic materials to the world. Those toxic materials, they end up devastating or destroying the nature that we have. That nature, we mean the horizon layer, which is naturally a blanket that protects the land down here. So when that one is destroyed, then we are in limbo.
Yes. So guys, please kindly give a comment. And any question for my guest here? That's what we are waiting for. Yeah, we are waiting for your questions for my guest. Yes. So guys, don't forget to subscribe, connect, please, guys. Thank you very much for coming to my live today. Yes. Now we're talking about how can we prevent disaster for our colleagues with disabilities, and also what are the strategies can we use or do we use? So it's time for us to give a comment. How have you seen the discussion? give us a question. Yes, we are on the question. You can give my guest a question. Thank you very much. I'll visit your houses, guys. I see Gigi, you're new. I'll visit your house. Bonafide. Yeah, thank you, Goga, for sharing as well. Please, let's share. So today I have a guest. He'll be back. But we are waiting for your questions. Today live stream is about questions. You need to give questions. We want to see, yes, if you're really there with us. Give us a question, please, guys. Give us a question or even a comment, a recommendation, or you can share anything, how you do it in your country or what you experience in your country, please. I see 2,000 people here who are watching. Please, please, let's write up. We have now to summarize. Our guest is here. I think, guys, the 2,000 people here, you don't know how to type a question here.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Now
Yeah.
we want to summarize.
Yeah.
What can you say, January?
In fact, I've been summarizing now and then, but now let me come to the very last summary of our discussion. Say we've been looking at disasters and the disability. So we've highlighted what disabilities that we have, some of them rather, then and where and how we have been affected by such disasters, how we can prevent them, how we can assist those affected at that particular time, and what governments should do so that we avert such phenomena. Fine and good that you have been there watching and listening. We believe from what we have been going through in these 30 minutes, you've heard and you know what it means and where you can assist or you can support if at all you have certain areas. We believe and understand that not all are good at talking, but you are good at one thing or the other, especially listening. And when you listen, you just do what you have gotten from such things. So that much also we value it so much, so much.
Very, wow. Very.
Thank you. And for Malawians that you've been reaching, listening to us, you have reached the right place. And whenever there are questions, this forum is live. You can still be putting your things forward in vernacular or whatever. We will still be assisting each other as we go. Thank you so much for watching, and
we say bye. Yes, that was my guest. My guest always like false communication. You were supposed to respond or you're supposed to give questions. Yes. So today I was with the disability activist, Mr. Mnyembe. So guys, thank you very much for being there. I say thank you, and wait for my next live stream. I'll also have another guest, so be right there. So what I'll say, bye for the day.